Again, it's why is it always countdown? Whenever we have a theme to anything provided by you,
The thing is, I actually tried to think of something different and it just came out.
And you failed.
Yes.
Excellent. Alright, so, yeah, news.
Countdown's brilliant.
I know you've been looking at that Kickstarter again, haven't you, Dave?
Oh god, my money is going...
It's like 5 days left.
leaking from all my face holes. Yeah, Kingdom Death Monster, I looked at it again and it's just broken $1 million
Yeah, I saw
after
that.
a 35,000
Like
initial wish list of money. So they've got about 6 expansions, God knows how many new miniatures, and they all look amazing. They've actually got sculpts done of a lot of them already, so they know what they want to do with it. And it looks amazing, and I'm probably going to end up spending like $200, and I don't want to.
See, after you'd linked it on Facebook, I went and had a look.
Yeah.
And you're right, the models are like super, super sexy, but I just don't know what I'd do with them.
Yeah,
because there's
I
no
was
point
thinking that as well.
Obviously, if you're getting the game, then we've got a copy of the game between
Yeah.
us. So there's no need in necessarily all of us going that. So
Yeah.
I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll go in on some of the models just because they're really, really nice. But I just can't think of what
they'd be useful.
The style is so unique that it's where could I apply this to another game? And I'm not sure I could.
It's like a cross between high fantasy and anime in its own way. In some places, it's
And
really
H.R. Geiger as well.
yeah, and Geigerisms and what else is it's really unique, I admit. But they look
Maybe not-
stunning. But I couldn't see anything using them
When
outside.
it first came out. This is the game where the world's set on a series of stone faces. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No, I saw the initial list and thought it looked very good. I think the reason they got so much money is they had a very professional original video.
They did. They showed you the gameplay and how the mechanic worked and everything, and then said, right, this is all the stuff you're going to be getting in the expansions.
Good models. The monsters especially that look very eye-catching.
Yeah.
And they're very easy to transpose. Do you like a monster? Do you play a game with monsters? Sort of a la Warhammer. Here you go.
Yeah.
Alternative monster. Done.
I think they look brilliant. I think they look absolutely brilliant. My only kind of main issue is I don't think I'm a good enough painter to paint any of them. Because they're so detailed and so like obscure. They've got like random faces just sprouting from their arms and stuff like this. And
It's like Zinch.
I guess so, but I don't think I'd want to paint Zinch either.
Yeah,
really.
fair enough. Yeah.
So, but I do still think I'm going to spend like $200 on it myself as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You're probably going to get one.
probably.
Okay. Well, if you decide to, let me know because we can maybe save on shipping by buying 2.
Yeah, if you do it together.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
If everyone's doing it, I may jump in just to get a couple of models just for the sake of
Yeah, sure.
like having some of the really
You
sexy
can buy
models.
regiments of the smaller models, like the generic bad guys and the
I saw
troops for I think it's like
Yeah, they've got
$20
like
for 10 or $50 for 40 or something ridiculous. So you get a load of them. Or
I
maybe
think-
$20 for 5 and $50 for 20. I don't know.
I'd be more interested in just getting the odd character for the sake
Yeah,
of
exactly.
painting a nice model.
The unique models, especially
And they're much easier
the
to fit in. And
the
up
Reaper
against
with
one,
all the lanterns flowing out inside of his cape and
That looks
everything.
cool.
And body. He looks really nice. I like that.
They're amazing, man.
I know.
Yeah.
They really are nice.
Well, there you go, you
Cool.
know.
Okay, well we've got about 3 days before it closes, so let's have a Facebook discussion about that.
Indeed.
Decide what we're doing.
Indeed. What are you pointing at me for?
I didn't appoint it today.
Oh, okay, that's good then. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, point at me.
Gangster.
They can't see this.
Anyway, cool. Anyone else seen anything new?
Dark Angels 40k coming out next week. I assume everyone else already knows that.
I know it now.
Yeah, same.
Pimping my land speeder with the big speakers on the back of it. It's a pimped stretch land speeder.
Really?
It's ridiculous.
It's that one with the enormous blind spot where the driver basically can't see anything to his left-hand side.
Or something. I don't know. It looks ridiculous. It looks like a bad scratching version of all this. But no, the rest of it looks cool.
What
Rogue
was-
Terminators and new bike command and that kind of stuff.
What are the speakers supposed to be? Are they like supposed
I
to
have
be
no idea.
whirlwind launchers or something?
It's got a couple of options. One's got a series of massive rift plasma cannons, whatever the hell they are, and then there's this speaker system, obviously to tell heretics how heretical they are.
Maybe they're delving into noise marine territory.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their original, split back in the day.
What, mods versus rockers?
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Next, the front of their land speeders is going to have loads of like wing mirrors and lights and everything, all chromed up.
I smell a theme, army.
You could. Cool. Anything else?
No, I think that was it. not necessarily newsworthy, but something I've been playing, or should we leave that for the I've been playing section?
Let's move on to the I've been playing section since there's no other news. So come on, Dave, what have you been playing?
I finally
painting?
played my new board game / card game that I bought at Spiel, or rather someone bought for me at Spiel because I asked them to. The Essen thing. It's called Among the Stars. It's by Artipia Games, I think, and they made 2 other games, both which are highly rated on Board Game Geek, although I can't think of the name of either. One might be Race for the Galaxy.
That's an awesome game.
There you
I've
go.
got it.
There you go. You should bring that in and we should play it. I did think about bringing my one today, but I didn't. Anyway, it's a card game. You build a space station, a bit like the one we played at Rick's. You get up to 4 players. Each has a hand of 6 cards, and you kind of draft a deck, but you play your cards straight out. So you choose a card you're going to use that turn, then you pass the hand on, and then you play your card, and then you rinse and repeat until all 6 cards are gone, and then you start a new year and you play 4 years, and you just gradually build up this big space station. It could be really heavy on the military with lots of turrets, it could be loads of diplomatic bays, it could be engineering based and all sorts. And you generate victory points, either instant ones for the thing you've placed depending on its cost, or end game long term investments where if you've got loads of blue compartments you'll get an extra 8 victory points or something like that. So you're playing the long and the short game, so it's tactical and strategical, which I like.
Yeah,
Sounds funky.
good.
And it's really quick as well. Once you know it, you can play it in about half an hour with 3 people. With 4 people, I think it wouldn't take more than an hour tops to get through a game. And it's really good fun, and so simple it's unbelievable almost. I'm glad I bought it.
Cool. Good review. What was it called again?
Among the Stars.
Nice.
I think it's like 20-30 quid. It's not too expensive because you don't get a lot of components. You get a couple of decks of cards and some cubes to use for resources, but that's about it.
Okay, cool. Well, cheers, Dave. So yeah,
You're welcome.
Tom Hale. No,
Hale?
Richards.
Rich Hales.
Never again. I've never been so insulted in all my life.
I'm sure I've called you a subhuman mong before.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Being called Richards is far worse.
You should be honoured to be mistaken for me.
There we go.
Anyway, so I've been up to various bits. I haven't actually played anything, but I've done an awful lot of peripheral hobby stuff. First of all, I've created my Mordheim gang. So I'm going to be going on with dwarves, and I've gone with quite a character-heavy, shooting-heavy gang. And I've gone through my old dwarf fantasy army, and basically I've set aside the bits I want to keep, and I've set aside the bits that I'm going to look to get rid of at some point soon. And from the bits I want to keep, I've just gone through a lot of the old models I like and picked out some of them and stripped them down. So I've got just a lot of old special characters in there. So I've got the Crag the Grim for my noble, so the old Runesmith, Rune Lord character. From the when we did the Gotrek and Felix models, I've got Snorri and Gotrek for my 2 Slayers, which I think 2 of the nicest models GW have ever made.
Very cool.
They are indeed. Oh, there you go, Dave.
Thank you.
Snorri has another arm which goes there. And for my engineer, I've got Burlock Daminson, who's another of the really old special characters.
Steam-powered power.
Yeah, but he's the dwarf engineer with a big hammer and then what is essentially a power fist on his left arm. And then for my 3 Thunderers, who have got crossbows, I've got Malachi McKayson, the bloke behind the Goblin Hewer, who's just such an awesome model. And I've got a couple of the really cool old metal Thunderers. So it's an entirely metal gang, so I will need to be a little bit careful with it. But I went for those models because they're really cool. I've got a few extra ones which can come in as and when they need to. Other thing I've done is I've created my Wood Elf Bloodbowl team, which is going to be it's a bit filth. It's going to be using just the GW Bloodbowl team because I've had that sitting around for ages. I've only gone for 1 Ward answer, but 1 thrower, 2 catchers, and then lots of line elves, and then 2 rerolls to start off with, just so that everything rerolls. It all rerolls, which is I think quite good. At the
I'll
start.
re-roll you.
Yeah, you will, but you can't re-roll me if I've already re-rolled once. So that's not that exciting, but that sorts it up. And then, now that we're into the new year, I'm starting to think about what fantasy tournament I'm going to go to next.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
And so I'm just going to be sticking with Wood Elves again for another year, but I've decided I'm going to move away from like the infantry heavy style that I really like and instead go for something which kills the metagame, and the metagame is ogres. So I'm going to be running triple Treeman lists for most of the year because they basically turn ogres into 3 points as long as I know what I'm doing.
Which
So
you do.
You don't.
Oh. Differing opinions there.
Shut up. So I'm going to be running that for a bit. So I'm looking at a couple of tournaments to go to. I've got a couple of lists that I've been drawing up and running some numbers on. And that's about it. That's what I've done this last week.
Cool. Well, that's, as you say, a lot of soft stuff, I guess, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
stuff that you need to get done, but not necessarily exciting. But no, cool. Cheers. So, Sam, other Tom, anybody?
Go, Sam. Go.
Okay, no. Well, yeah. I mean, aside from generally mogging out, I've been I've been doing a lot of mogging out. Let's face it. I've bought some Chaos Dwarf models from the Forge World range to use to convert and use as a Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team. That's the most recent thing I've done.
2 dwarfy teams. Yay.
Blood Bowl.
Oh.
That is though.
That's for Blood Bowl.
Oh, yours is Mordheim.
Yeah.
I was totally listening. Carry on.
So yeah, they've yet to arrive, so I have no real comments as to the quality of the models, etc. They look fantastic, but we will see, and I hope they convert well as well, because they look like they're quite easy to pose. They've got like joints at the elbows and separate hands, so they look like they'll be quite good.
Dwarves had joints anatomically. They were just like a blob of flesh when they were
Well,
Born in armour.
Which ones did you go for?
Infernal Guards.
Okay. With
I went with hand weapon and shield.
hand weapon shield.
Because of you can cut the hand weapon off, and it looks like you can slice back the shield off of their hand, so you've got 2 hands. Whereas obviously the guys with Fireglaive, which is like a kind of handgun with an axe on it, they've got their hands gripped around the gun, so it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I used to have a small army of them, of the Forge World ones.
Oh really?
Yeah. But they are really nice models. I had the Fireglaive ones. I didn't have any of the hand weapon shields. So I can't speak for those ones, but the Fireglaive ones, they were posable, as you said, in the sense that they had separate arms and hands. However, they only fit together one way. So you couldn't, the arms were all in exactly the same point. There was several guys that had the guns, you know, kind of poised and ready, and there were a couple of other guys that kind of held their guns up and then their hands were open in the other hand. But there was no way to mix it around. However,
for Blood Bowl, I doubt that'd be too much of an issue, because you really only want them to have, like, look at my fists position.
yeah. I'm sure the hand weapon shield ones are better anyway. But
Fair
for
enough.
posability, man.
Yeah, so I doubt there would be too much of an issue with that. And then I mean, to be honest, when I first saw the models, like maybe, when was it, like a year, maybe 2 years ago when they brought them out? I can't remember exactly how long ago it was now. I literally, the first thing I thought was, wow, that would make an amazing Blood Bowl team. So getting around to it now is quite good. And I naturally Googled it to see if anyone else had tried and had any success, and I found a few examples. And I saw someone who'd like cut the models in half and then used, I think it's the Mantic Games Bull Centaur-esque models, and he'd cut like those in half and stuck them together to make the Bull Centaur characters for the team, well, the models for the team essentially.
Because the Forger ones are a little on the big side, aren't they?
Yeah, they're humongous, aren't they? They're like they're on the monstrous cavalry bases, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're just ginormous. So that totally would not work out for Blood Bowl.
Unfortunately, they're lovely models.
They do look really nice. Yeah, it would be great if they were a reasonable size, but you know, Warhammer recently has decided that bigger is better. So
It has.
You should be going down to Storm, Dave.
Not quite sure what you mean by that.
You're fat.
Oh. I thought you were talking about my penis size.
Not that nice.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's I'm going to try and convert those up, and then I'm probably going to buy the old school hobgoblins for the hobgoblins because they look good.
Sneaky git ones.
No, not the OOP ones, the actual Blood Bowl hobgoblins.
Oh, okay, right.
So I did think about the sneaky gits, but they're literally like £8 for one
Really?
on eBay. They're ridiculously priced.
Good
So
lord.
I mean, I saw like 20 for like £85 or something, and I was like, nah,
Don't really need 20.
No, I need like 5 probably. So
Yeah.
like the GW ones, they're selling them for like £4.50 each or something, but they're also selling like the entire team of like 12 models for £30, which just doesn't make sense. I might as well just buy that and then sell the other half on eBay or something like that. So make my money back.
Yeah.
Bit ridiculous, but I'll probably do that. because I don't really like. I've looked around at various other miniature manufacturers for Blood Bowl, like Gaspez Arts, and there's a few other runs around, and I just don't really like the Hobgoblin models in general. For all of them, not just those ones. Like.
What's that other Blood Bowl-esque game like?
Oh, Mantic made a new one, didn't they?
Dreadball, is that it? Yeah.
It looks
I haven't
a little
played
bit
it.
strange.
It's become quite popular. Quite a lot of people have picked it up.
I've seen it at a lot more
okay.
places online, so it seems like it's picking up a bit, and they've certainly been releasing a lot more models for it. So.
Yeah, people that I know who play this have just told me, it's a good game. So
cool.
Hopefully, it won't be
I do
so
like some of the
special.
models they do.
Needs more teams. As soon as it gets more teams, we'll hopefully keep going.
Yeah,
Get some
true.
longevity on it.
And that is the thing
maybe
about
they'd
Blood
have
Bowl
some
in
kind
general,
of
isn't it?
models.
There's like 25 teams, so you've got a lot of options, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's really all I've been doing recently. And I mean, just kind of looking at the Chaos Dwarf miniatures had me thinking about playing them in Warhammer, but you know, that remains to be seen, depending on price, etc. If we did like a small Warhammer campaign here, I might think about it, because it'd be like 500 points. I could do that, and then another 500. I could do that slowly, but it depends if we get into that or if we stick with what we're doing. So
Yeah, I'm sure we can mix it up, as we go along.
Well, we started out with some Warhammer
Yeah.
Fantasy originally, didn't we? Before we
Yeah.
got the Necromunda back up and going.
It's the first thing Tom played when he came round.
Yep.
Brought you what else?
I did indeed.
Stinky.
Yeah. Other Tom.
Hello. Yes.
Nobody cares, shut up.
No love lost between you two then.
cutting,
He's
cutting.
just jealous because he's rubbish at Warhammer. But no, obviously, sort of being over the holiday season, like a lot of people, sort of more sort of downtime, prep and sorting out bits and bobs. I recorded a couple of podcasts for my podcast, but which need editing, which obviously is an arduous task, which is being deferred to some future date. Then, in terms of Warhammer again, sort of planning tournaments, going to the Sheffield Slaughter in January and trying to think of lists for that, and repair models, because my Bretonnian army has been somewhat battered over a year's worth of playing, so there's chips everywhere and broken lances, etc. So it needs a bit of a spruce up.
You could just call it battle damage, you know. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, battle damage in grey plastic and shiny pewter doesn't quite mix it. But
Not so good.
it's good. It's good though. I may use that as a hobby excuse. You're my hobby hero, Dave. I like it. So been doing that. I've been assembling demon models for a demon army. I've been using a lot of the old 6th edition metals, so the blood ladders with axes and the Zench horrors that don't look like comedy carny people.
It's just fantasy.
Yes, it's fantasy. But theoretically, I suppose it could even have been 40k if no one was particularly offended by square bases. I'm sure that there is much. I sense a great rage in the internet building. I got a Forge World Greater Demon, the Khorne one from a Bloodthirster.
Oh, he's
I
amazing.
put it together, and it went together really well. Once I scraped the flash off him,
Yeah.
so he has now been christened Gordon because he had so much Flash Gordon. And other than that, in terms of playing games, last night played a 6-player game of Zombicide, which is a sort of survival horror.
How was it?
Incredibly good fun.
Really?
It's really fun. The mechanics for the zombies is really simple. Basically, they run towards you and try and kill you in the various forms that they are, and you have to work together as a team, sort of against the board, and lots of different missions. So it's not just stand in this building and kill zombies. You can do that as well, which is obviously entertaining, and random weapons. And we played one mission where effectively we just had to kill lots of zombies to ramp up the danger level, which was quite entertaining. Well, we got 2 police cars, so we were basically driving around and around the streets, running over zombies, doing drive-bys out the window, occasionally leaning out the window with a machete to knock over a particularly big zombie. It was good fun. With sort of 6 guys and a few beers, and more importantly, one and all the zombies were purged. Despite the fact that I managed to, while searching for weapons, accidentally find a zombie in the boot of the police car while we were all in it, which did not work out so well.
That didn't turn out too good.
No, with people trying to blaze away inside a car, hitting each other, rather than said zombie.
Have you played Last Night on Earth?
No, I haven't.
I was just wondering how they compare
No,
in
I
design.
wouldn't know. But that was a good laugh in terms of board games. And then I bought myself a PlayStation 3, and I assume that doesn't count in terms of gaming for this. But
It does if you play.
Hobby at risk.
Yeah,
Danger.
No, it's fine. You can do those sort of things at once. I think everyone here has a PlayStation 3 or at least a console of some sort.
Consoles, PCs, whatever.
Yeah. No,
But
it's all good.
not for today. Not part of the hobby.
That's a different podcast.
Indeed so, but yeah. And then, obviously, for this evening, sorting out a starting undead team, being thoroughly unoriginal with 2 mummies, 2 whites, 3 ghouls, 4 zombies and 3 rerolls, which effectively is what you do with the starting undead team. Because I tried to do something funky with only like 1 mummy and see what I could do with the spare money, and I'm like, well, 4 rerolls, which
It's
I'm not
an extra
going to
reroll.
But am I going to need it? So
You always need more rerolls.
yeah, it's true.
And you always find that out a few thousand TV down the line when you're like, oh, but if I buy another reroll, it costs us as much, and then my TV bumps up even higher, and they get
That was
even
my
more halfling chefs. But
Yeah, precisely. It was kind of my logic is that rerolls is the only thing which gets more expensive. Therefore, it's the most logical thing to buy at the beginning.
yes,
But it's really difficult to fit in.
yes,
And
they struck
That's
a
the
really
balance,
hard balance.
isn't it? Yeah.
no, well, sort of get up and going. And basically, for the undead, you've either got to drop a white down to a zombie, which
sucks.
It sucks because the guy only one guy starting with block. You kind of need it because you've got virtually no other skills. Or you drop the mummy and end up with far too much money. You get the reroll and then you've got cash spare, which you can't spend on anything.
And
So
then you
it's just-
think maybe that's why the mummies cost a lot of money, because I need them.
Mummies
Yeah.
are pretty awesome.
they're by far and away the best big guys. You get strength 5 with no negative skills, and you get 2 of them. It's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Well, their negatives decay, isn't it?
No, they don't have decay. That's Tomb Guardians. They've no
Oh,
negative.
those ones don't have
No.
decay.
They've
Oh,
got regen. They're harder to kill, not easier.
yeah.
Yeah, Khemri ones have got both regen and decay, I
Yeah.
believe. So
And they get 5 of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Scary team. Operation definitely running around and avoiding.
Oh, but the rest of the team's pretty lame. That's their kind of downside.
Fair.
5 mummies to pummel your face in, and then the rest of the team move like 3 squares and do bugger all.
Fair enough.
Give the other team a lot of SPP.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think me and Richards are throwing down this evening with his Filthwood Elves. Continuing his trend of beating me in specialist games after beating me twice in Necromunda quite convincingly and annihilating me with his horrendous shooting and close combat, and this time probably beat me there. I suppose he's got to
That's pretty much all there is in Necromunda.
He's got to restore
shooting
the
in
average
close
from all
combat.
Warhammer games where I school him, so the universe has to balance out somewhere, I suppose.
You
But-
yourself admitted just now that I deserve to beat you at them all. You just got lucky. Those are almost your own exact words.
Played for and got, sir. Played for and got. But anyway, you can check your YouTube channel out for that in high definition whining.
It's the only way to whine. Besides, it's not whining, it's complaining.
Not when it's on the internet, you sound like a 12-year-old girl. No, but moving on.
Wow.
John, what
Okay.
have you been doing in the hobby?
Tom?
Yeah.
Is everyone called Tom now?
Pretty much. They
Shall I
might
say
as well
John?
be.
You did say Tom, but that's
I
fine.
meant Adam.
I did mean Adam.
Fred, what have you been doing?
So yeah, me, Dave, over here. Simon, Fred, Dave.
Bob.
Yeah, I haven't really... Well, no, I've done a little bit. I finished off my Mordheim warband, putting them together. Finished off all my custom cobblestone bases.
Hey.
So they're all together and undercoated, ready for painting. Also built myself an ogre, just in case I fancied doing an ogre bodyguard at some point.
Did you build him out of ogres?
Where'd the dog come from?
The dogs, I'm using the Hobbit, not the Hobbit. They're from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the
Well,
Shire.
he is a hobbit then.
He's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
No, he's a dog.
He's a hobbit.
But no, it came in a set called
He's a dobbit.
Farmer Maggot, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got 3 hounds, so I have so those ones.
That's really
I
good.
wanted dogs. I wanted actual dogs.
There's one in the Bretonnian plastic men-at-arms.
He's
set, you get
really
one,
small,
Yeah,
though.
tiny dog, baby dog.
Yeah, I mean even these are quite small when you compare them to like a guy, but
They're dog sized.
they're dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're dog sized, but it looks kind of strange in Warhammer because everything's oversized. But when you compare it to I think I've got over here
A direwolf, which is the size of a pony.
a wolf.
Exactly.
Boom! That's a rat wolf, but even so, it's the same size as the dire wolves and all the other things. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like twice the size of a man.
I suppose you could stick the rat wolf on a 20mm base and just have it rearing up or something, but then it's going to look even
He's
bigger
going to be
next
taller
to
than a
person.
man by
Yeah.
considerable.
He won't be able
tall
to-
as an ogre.
He won't
Yeah,
be able to.
essentially, look, if
Yeah.
you put the ogre next to the rat wolf,
Then
it's
the wolf
dog
looks
sized.
alright,
yeah.
And he wouldn't be able to
Something
get through buildings. That's the problem. The wolves, the dogs as they are now, can go anywhere that the humans can go.
Essentially, in Mordheim, you want things on the 20mm base generally anyway.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
do.
So anyway, I finished putting them together, building the ogre out of pieces out of my bits box, and yeah, just getting them together. Started painting some more Necromunda girls, my Escher gang. I actually went on a bit of a spending spree as well. I was trawling Fleabay, and I noticed that it's really bad. This is going to make me sound like a real douchebag, but
You are a douchebag. Carry on.
okay.
Everybody knows.
I saw that somebody had listed a bunch of Escher figures in a single auction with crappy description, crappy title, which usually means
no one else is going to buy it.
They don't know what they're
Someone's
selling.
Yeah.
They just don't know what they're selling. And it happened to have in there the heavy plasma gunner and another one of the rare models, which is the pickaxe plasma gun girl.
Both of which you wanted.
Both of which I don't have in my model collection for Escher, and both of which I need, and both of which sell for a crap ton. The heavy plasma's worth about 25 quid on its own.
Jesus.
And the plasma pick girl is worth about a tenner. And it comes with about 8 other Escher figures as well. Normal ones, nothing special. But even so, and Necromunda figures go for sort of 4 quid each anyway.
Yeah.
For your average figure. So I emailed the guy and I was like, you got to buy it now in mind. You got a couple of figures there that I'd like to round out my collection with. And he was like, I don't know, make me an offer. So I slung him an offer of 20 quid, including postage. And he went for it.
Wow. Much success.
Yeah, so
did he just update the...
So he just cancelled the listing.
Oh, he cancelled it and then...
Yeah, he sent it to me. Should arrive on Monday. Unless, of course, I've been taken for a ride, in which case...
Joke's on you!
Yeah, fail to me. But on the plus side, it might be like I've bought, 8 Escher figures and got a heavy plasma gunner and a plasma pix girl for free.
Did you do the sale outside of eBay then, or did he relist it as by then?
No.
Oh, okay.
Outside of eBay.
No buyer protection.
Well, I got PayPal protection. But yeah, I thought for this, it's worth a try. I'd give it a shot.
Back up.
But we'll see. So I've finished that, and I thought, since I got those 2, that left me with only 2 other models from the Escher range I didn't have. So I picked up one of the other ones, which is the bolt pistol grenade girl. Picked her up on a separate auction. And then I'm just looking out for the last one now, which is the alternate leader model, which is the one with, I think she's got a bolt gun and a sword or something. And then I'll have the whole set.
Nice.
So I'll be able to
that is a nice
swap and change and everything. Yeah. So I did that on eBay.
eBay person, if you're listening, no hard feelings.
Yeah, well, I'm deliberately
You did get screwed, though.
I'm going to wait until I've got those models before I put this podcast out.
Just in case.
He's listening. I don't imagine that he is, because he obviously doesn't know what they're worth.
He'd have to have hacked
Well, I
into
didn't
your
really
network
screw him.
connection.
It's just...
Downloaded
You
this
did.
file.
I didn't.
You did.
Nobody forced him to sell.
That's what he
Exactly. I made him an offer.
Free
He
market.
took the offer. Exactly.
He didn't want to put the effort into
Anything that's
researching
worth
what
what
he
someone
had.
is willing to pay or willing to sell them for.
Exactly. And let's be fair, I was never going to spend 25 quid on one model.
Well, that's the thing, you always said that. You said you weren't going to buy them on their own if they were that much.
But if I could get them as a lot, which I've got use for the other models, then sure, why not? So anyway, I did that. And I've been buying other little bits to start on the Mordheim board. Got some plasticard, got some loads of balsa dowel wood and everything. So I'm going to start putting those buildings together.
They
So
look
we
good. The first couple of pictures you put up on the Facebook group look really nice, actually. Way better than the cardboard rubbish ones you get in the set.
Yeah, these are the we talked about them last week. The foreground MDF laser cut
really
stuff.
nice.
Really nice.
They're really good
they're
models.
awesome.
Although, as I say, I'm not sure if we're going to use them for Mordheim, just because they're realistic scales, which means they're kind of a little bit too small.
That's fine.
But models don't fit under them. Models don't fit in the floors because of the things. Anyway,
I'll just give them more pen. I'll have short models. I'll be fine.
yeah.
I'll just hide under the buildings going, you can't see me, you can't see me.
Well, my dogs will be fine because they're nice and small.
Damn it. It's always fluffy. Dogs coming in to flush out
To
the
eat
rats.
Skaven, yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to start putting these together and see what I can come up with. Model-wise, got loads of those blocks cast from the Hearst Art stuff. So yeah, but yeah, that was pretty much how I spent the last week and a bit. Spending money.
Spending money's always good.
Yeah, cool.
Cool, what are we playing this evening?
Yeah, so today's games. There's loads of us, so we get 2 simultaneous games running at once. So yeah, the Toms are going to Blood Bowl off, I think.
Not success. Tier 1 versus Tier 2.
Who's Tier 1?
Wood Elves.
Wood Elves, sorry.
They're Tier 0.5 up and
Okay.
above by themselves.
Do you want to talk us through your teams briefly, you guys, and tell us, a little bit about why you've taken who you've taken, and your plans for maybe not tactics, I guess, with each person listening, but
Kill all the elves, all of them,
that's a good
in
tactic.
the face.
It's going to be interesting for a first game because, of course, no one's got any stats past the base level skills.
Which is the reason why Wood Elves are so good, because they get so much out of the box.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I've gone to maximise as many rerolls as I can get, really. So I've got just for one ward answer. I've only got one thrower as well, because I find you don't really need 2. I find the second one a little bit redundant. But 2 catchers, and then 7 line elves. It's really distracting.
Sorry, we're just trying to work out the other.
Three of them are waving their hands around doing some sort of silent epileptic sponsored fit. It's just really distracting.
All right, we'll leave.
Jazz hands, boys. Jazz hands. It annoys Richards. We know what annoys him.
Now you know how to make him when he's getting those go for it rolls. So you can be like jazz hands.
Yeah, so lots of re-rolls to maximise it out. I don't have any strength in depth at all, but my think is as long as I can keep all the hero characters out of damage, I'll get Journeyman to replace any damaged line elves, so I'll be alright in the short term, and then just to spend my next few bits of money on getting some more bodies on the board.
Also, you only need 4 elves at any given point to score. Probably only 3, realistically.
Yeah.
As long as you've got 3 elves, you can score, which is really annoying.
Yeah, as long as I can get around you. Or over you, because the war dance.
I've got zombies. Zombies are ridiculously slow, and mummies are ridiculously slow, and ghouls are ridiculously bad.
Cool. You got 2 whites though.
It's true, pretty much, because I'm facing elves and I need some blocks. I think one of the few skills you don't have in great abundance is actually block.
Only my war dancer as well.
Yeah,
of course. I'm not quite sure. The plan for the war dancer is to see how it goes. And if target opportunity, i.e. zombie boot to face, presents itself, I will be taking it with much vengeance, throwing out.
I want to see plenty of fouls.
Yeah, you stamp the war dancer whenever you get the chance.
With everybody.
Same
Ignore
with
the ball.
Witcher.
I'm willing to lose the game if I kill his war dancer. But yeah, so it's 2 mummies which just stand on the line and beat people's heads in slowly, because they only move at 3, so I guess wood elves are not so good, but it means that they can basically be a roadblock of, right, well, the elves aren't coming through because they can stand by themselves and look after themselves, and even take like 4 elves to push them over. The zombies, again, are very bad against elves because of the movement 4, and you don't need anyone to be a chew toy because the elves run away from you, so they're just... they have to play them quite well, and so basically the more important pieces are the 2 whites with block who've got to make that really work for them, trying to get some casualties and putting elves on the floor, and then the ghouls just with their movement lending assists and scampering off trying to nick the ball, and hopefully not getting punked themselves with that armor 7 and no regen. Squishy ghouls. Should be good.
Wood elves.
Basically, it'll either be a story of all the elves died, much success, yay, I won 1-0, or I did not catch the elves and they won by many touchdowns, to the frustration of dead creatures everywhere.
Typically how a lot of games versus elves go when
It'll be
comes down
fine.
to the elf ball.
He'll just roll 1s for dodging a whale, goes for it, and kill his own players and give turnovers to let me kill more players. It'll be glorious. But yeah, so I've just got to play it patient and wait for the elves to screw up, which is not a particularly good game plan, but I haven't really got anything else to go on.
See how it goes. Yeah.
Stomp elf ball.
I think we'll have to start recording the win-lose draws of these games, and we can have a little Blood Bowl league table that we'll pin up on the wall.
Yeah, much success.
So that we can.
Can we have a kill count and elf kill count?
Yeah, we can.
Very different.
I was kind of thinking about it the other day, and I thought it'd be a good idea to set it up, and then we can play each other maybe twice, kind of home and away style, and have like a league outfit, so to speak. So
yeah, definitely.
Very simple to do. It'd take like a certain number of weeks to get completed, but obviously over however long we feel like.
Over the rest of our lives.
Exactly.
It should be fine.
Oh yeah.
Where's the board, by the way?
It's up behind you on that
see.
table. Okay, cool. All right. Well, and the other game we'll be running will be Dave and Sam. What are you guys going to be playing?
Either Mordheim or Necromunda. I don't mind which.
I honestly don't care.
Excellent. Well, since you're both lame, I'm going to pick for you. You're
Excellent.
going to be playing Necromunda. I can't be bothered to cobble together the Mordheim scenery.
There we go. This
Great
is
logic.
Yeah, okay.
In which case it's Ashwaste Nomads versus Scavvies.
Scavvies!
As the terrain is close to that side, do you want to come over? Yeah.
Dave, don't even hang.
Well, yeah.
Excellent.
That was a high five.
Awesome. Well, you guys have already talked about your gangs plenty in the past, so we don't need to go through that again.
Minus Scavvies scumbags, here's Ashway, Nomad bitches.
They've all got respirators and the best names in the world.
Cool. Okay. Alright, well in that case, yeah, we'll
Do we have
get...
Blood Bowl team names? I think that's...
Oh, I don't know, do you have a team name?
Yeah, it's called the Forests of Dawn.
Boring. Next.
All elves must die.
I can tell that you put a lot of thought into that one.
We need some better names, guys. Come away.
Topical.
I'll tell you what.
Answers on a 20 quid note, listeners. Answers on a 20 quid note, please.
Or how about, after we come back, after the break, you can come up with the name at that point and report back. So you've got a whole game to think about it.
Oh God!
If you kill my war dancer, I get to name your team.
I think that's
Done.
there we go.
Done.
Excellent. All right.
That's fine by me.
In that case, yeah, game on, guys, and we will see you or speak to you in a bit.
Bring it.
Dust. Bring it. Okay, hello and welcome back. We've just finished our games. I say we, I didn't actually play, but
You're building a house?
I was building a house. That's how I spent my productive couple of hours there, building my first Mordheim house.
Yay, masonry.
It's fallen over already, but I figure that's just Mordheim, isn't it? You know, it's realistic.
Blessed is the terrain maker, for he enables all games.
There you go. But yeah, I'm going to work on that this weekend. But yeah, gaming. So, Tom's, you played the game of Bloodbowl. How did that go?
Indeed, we did.
I done
Perfect
goofed.
Blood Bowl weather, listeners. All game.
A gentle gust of wind.
I done goofed really early on. I do this because I go through stage where I don't play any Blood Bowl for ages. I've not played for a few months, and then I thought it'll be fine. I'll just run down one flank, bust a hole, and score on like turn 3. And I ran down the flank, didn't make anything even vaguely resembling a hole, and half my team promptly fell over.
Yeah. He went with a Wood Elf army and based the Undead army team, and went, okay, so we'll punch him all on the face. And many elves were punched in the face, and when the end of the drive later, I've got a cage slowly grinding towards his score line, where he's got 3 guys in the KO box and 3 guys injured. You know it's been a good half for the Undead. It was just you sort of base stuff, and just because you went really far wide, right down the tram lines on the outside.
I thought I could get away far enough that you wouldn't be able to get enough stuff over me, so I'd be able to push stuff back in with the War Dancer, and then like the cannon have the catch just go hell for leather.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it was that ghoul who was sort of playing defense in the centre had to leg it all the way over and to go for it for 9 squares just to plug the last hole.
Yeah.
And then a series of fortunate 1-die blocks.
I
just
lost
meant
it.
that I ended up with just at that critical stage.
It took out my ability to actually get anything to anyone on the other side of the field.
Yeah,
but once it got penned in, everyone on the other side had just been 1 dice blocked, and was lying on their back, which wasn't helpful at all.
No way you could do the fade or either the fade back round or even the switch pass to the other side, because they were all on the floor, so there was no one to pass to in that particular turn. So you had to kind of just weather it. And
I could have at one point sort of tried to run back and go sort of run the long way round, but I decided that I was instead going to try and punch a hole, because I thought I saw a gap opening, went for it and couldn't make anything happen.
There was no gap.
And
it was all under control.
Got shut down pretty hard, so played that badly wrong. Lost 5 people. 6 people?
Yeah, I surfed the War Dancer as well.
Yeah,
that was epic.
Ends up with 3 knocked out, 3 in the dead ninja box. Almost managed to hold the drive off. I think you didn't manage to score to your turn 8. In the
it was my
first
turn.
half.
I wasn't planning on scoring before 8, but But I was assuming there was going to be nobody there. But there were still elves dodging away, resetting up, and it was either a case of going the long way around with 2 2s for go for it, or punching 2 elves out the way. I obviously picked the latter option, and punched the elves out the way and scored, which was good. And then the second half was pretty much a blowout, because you only got 1 guy back from your knockout. So
I think I got 2 back, but I didn't get the War Dancer. So if I'd only had a small amount of people with the War Dancer, I felt like I could have still made something happen, because he can leap into the cage and then
pop it out
and then try and punch it out. But with only 6 people on the field, to you getting your entire team back, I essentially just lined as many people up as I could on my own touchline, and dodged backwards of the ones that had to go on a scrimmage, and then just basically ran everyone round the outside, so you had a clear walk.
You kicked it, and it scattered 6 plus 2 bounces off to my left of field, your right field, so it was off on one flank. So when I picked up the ball, you could just fade really easy the other way around. And if I'm honest, I could have probably tried to chase the elves, but I thought that would end up exposing the ball carrier, so I just went into a rolling mega cage with multiple layers of punchy death and just ground it out for a 2-0 win. I think the second half took up 5 minutes max,
something like that.
Yeah,
wow, that's pretty quick.
It was very quick.
And well, one side will run away, and it's like, well, my average speed of my guys is 5 when you work it out. His average speed is 7.5 or something ridiculous. It's like, I ain't catching that ever. And he's not running at me, so I took the 2-0 win. So ghoul number 3 got a skill up and rolled +1 edge. Go nice. For successfully picking the ball up and holding it. well done, Ghoul. Well played him. And but both mummies got 1 casualty, because they both punched their first guy, looked very pleased with themselves, causing an injury, and then failed to break anybody's arm for the rest of the game. But it was fine. And one of the random whites on a 1-die block also got an injury.
Yeah.
Which was good times. So yeah, a good solid win to the Undead, because it was pretty much playing the game their way, which is grindy punch up followed by second grind. Yeah. Just no elf ball, I think. You got a pass though.
Yeah, I got a small pass, which was fine. It's better than no points at all.
Yes.
It will take me a little while to get back into a swing of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, indeed so.
Nice. Well, that information is all well and good, but of course, the thing that everyone has been waiting to hear is what the name of your team is, Tom.
Yeah, this is true. After much thought and consideration, I think I'm just going to call them Undead Monkeys.
Undead Monkeys.
After I think so, I think that, unfortunately now I thought, I've called them that name. Apparently, there's those Apes of Wrath miniatures, which are like gorillas and stuff. Like, if I buy them and zombified them, it's like I've got a theme, so I throw my team away and get a whole new team.
Yeah. That could work. We could get that Empire. There's that little pirate monkey guy that comes on one of the sprues.
Yes, he's in the Empire
Is that
kit.
one with two tails?
He's in the Empire State kit.
I don't know what you mean.
He could be the powder monkey or something.
That's
it is,
the
isn't
one.
it? Yeah, you could use him as a cheerleader or something.
Nice. It's the theme. It's already building. I'm excited. Right, good.
Oh, nice. But it was a good game, was it?
Yeah, it was fun. It's a tough game back into Blood Bowl.
The game is punishing at the best of times anyway. So.
Yeah, especially because I've not played the actual board game more than like once in the last year or so. Every time I've played has been online, where it does all the calculations for you. So try and work out like, wait, why? What do I need to roll here, and why? That's the hard bit. So once I know that, I think I'll be able to concentrate a bit more. Actually, right, how am I going to get past him?
Yeah, and again, elves, wood elves especially, very, very, very good if they're playing it their game, that fast party action game. When you shut it down and it's not happening, it's good news, but you've still got to be careful and just play it carefully, and dice were in my favour.
Plus, they're squishy.
Plus mini elves are squished, much success. And technically on the first injury we rolled for you, your guy was dead, but we decided to waive injuries in this league for the first game, which I was most unimpressed, because that's one kill I cannot add to my roster.
The same thing with...
you get a moral kill.
I mean, I don't get my free zombie off you either.
Can I talk now, or have you finished?
No, technically when I kill someone, I get a free zombie. Because your guy hasn't died, I don't get my free zombie.
No, you don't.
I want my free zombie.
Tough.
I want my elf zombie.
Doing the same thing we do for Necromunda and Mordheim, which is at first game, no deaths and nothing which will detract from your performance in future games.
Second game, no death.
Second game, no deaths.
After that, free for all.
You're out in the wilderness.
Yeah. I think, we've talked about that before, but I think it eases you in, because I think
Stop
the first thing that
re-rolling
happened...
again straight away.
Well, that was it.
Yeah,
you rolled dead, and you
lose, and it was, of all people to lose, it's my thrower. So, no, start a new one.
Reroll. Yeah.
Just print the roster off again and go again.
So there's no point. It just ruins it, And obviously, if you're trying to do a league as well, then that just makes it even more difficult, because then you've suddenly got somebody who's played a game against a team that now no longer exists.
Yeah.
So it would make it very difficult if somebody re-rolls, towards the beginning of a league.
I think most leagues, they keep it's the players' like win-loss stats, and so if you restart a team, just that team starts with whatever stats in terms of wins and losses.
Yeah.
I think, but it's fine really at this
But
stage.
I mean, especially if we've got sort of set players, set people that come each week to play, and set teams, it's very easy to do a traditional league style, 2 games, 1 home, 1 away, and play like a season, as it were. Yeah. Once everybody plays 2 games, then you calculate the winner, and then start again or whatever. But yeah, so game one of Blood Bowl, a win to the Undead. What was it? Monkey.
Undead Monkeys.
The Undead Monkeys.
We are the kings of the Undead Jungle.
Nice, excellent. And on the other
what's
side,
Tom's team's name?
Forest of Dawn.
Oh, you're not changing it?
No.
I just thought I'd give you that chance.
But it was a Dawn of the Dead.
It's not
Strokes
Dawn.
beard.
It's not Dawn spelled as in that way. It's Dorne.
Yeah.
It's the Game
well,
of
that's
Thrones
just wrong.
reference, just because it's my favourite part. Martell are my favourite house because they are the best by far. Anyone who thinks otherwise is wrong. There's no
Martell are
subjectivity to it.
But you picked the Wood Elf team, who are like flowers and hippies and stuff. Surely you're a Tyrrell, because you're growing stronger.
That's a good point. Flowery.
I'm clearly not going stronger than this die.
It's Knight of Flowers. Except you're not really knights
Shut
because you're a
Stop coming at me with your logic.
He's just flowers.
Yes, okay.
Very pretty and flowery, I'll
Next.
have you know. My mummy says so.
well, you're next. So on the other side of the board, we had Dave and Sam playing a nice bit of Necromunda.
Yeah.
How did that go for you? What games did you
Let's
play?
go to Sam first. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, shockingly, Sam has left once again to catch his train.
It's
so-
not my fault.
No, it's not your
You
fault.
ruined his hobby.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I
But,
played,
so you're going to have to
Chaos
talk.
Force. That's fine. We played Necromunda, and it was fun.
Thanks for that.
Okay. It was my Ashways Nomads against Sam's Scavvies. and we just did a normal kind of gang fight / loot scenario. So there were 8 loot counters strewn across the board, and a pretty densely packed set of terrain with a nice gully, sort of valley in the middle. So there was gantries on either sides, and then a pit of death. And during setup, Sam decided that he wanted to use the Arachnarok model that he just happened to have in his bag, and replaced a whole gantry section with it, and said, right, this guy's guarding 3 loot counters, we're going to use the giant spider rules with +1 to all of his stats, and he's got 6 wounds. That's probably the effect of 6 spears, but hey, I didn't argue because it sounded like fun. So that happened. I got my free weird, who I got from the last game I played, I think, as a bonus for surviving till the end. Was that the King of the Spire game?
No, I think that was it was a couple of games back.
King of the Spire.
King of the Spire game, and Dave won that one. As his prize, he rolled. We had random prizes, and he rolled.
I get a free hired gun for 3 games or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you picked a weird.
I picked a weird, and I made him a pyromancer, and he got the spontaneous combustion and Spider-Man spells. So he does the leadership test, and you take D3 wounds, which is pretty nice. And Spider-Man lets him levitate up walls and stuff.
So he got the Spider-Man skill, and
Spider-Man is a minor power.
Yeah, and then on his first game fought a giant spider.
Yes.
It's just by coincidence.
It's quite apt. He didn't use the Spider-Man skill on the spider. Instead, he the first 2 turns, he took 2 successful leadership tests. The spider failed his 2 leadership 8 tests, and both cases took 3 wounds. So he died in 2 turns.
With mine
Unfortunately, my weird gets no experience for that, which is a bit of a bummer.
Were you hoping you'd do 5 wounds to it, and then one person could take half wound off?
Well, Sam's leader, Scavvy leader, was running across the bottom and said, "Don't shoot me, I'm going to engage it in hand-to-hand combat for fun." And I was like, that's fine, and then I just melted the spider into slag in front of him, and then went, charge, and attacked his leader. Which didn't turn out the best for my leader, because he took him out because I rolled a fumble.
Oh,
smooth. So how did the game go, other than the spider killings?
It went pretty well, actually. I dominated on the general hand-to-hand and shooting end of it. He dominated on the I'm going to run around here, steal this loot and run away from you tactics. So he came out of it with more money than I did, at least. But I started shooting, and my guys haven't got that great shooting skills, and they haven't got that great ballistic skills, but they just fluked a lot of the rolls, I think. Although my heavy stubber did take his first shot and go out of ammo, which was a bit annoying.
Was that against the people sort of across the gantry, a completely
it was the
open expanse with
perfect setup for any kind of heavy, just a gantry filled with 4 people all out in the open, right? Daka, oh no, first shot, and his gun runs out of ammo.
Were you using my heavy stubber by any chance?
Yes, pretty much. It knocked the scally even off of his perch onto the floor below, but that just meant that he was there to help his leader. Couldn't fight the spider that had been turned into slag, so that didn't work out so well. And that was after his scally had already launched a spear across to the other side of the table, nailed one of my gangers in the head and knocked them 2 stories down and taken them out of action. So the damage was done.
Nice.
The rest of the game was me taking out the people on the gantries and then shooting lots and lots of stuff into the valley below and taking out most of his guys. And then Sam, after he had a lot of people out and down, decided to bottle, which was fair enough because all the tokens were gone and he had 6 and I had 2.
Voluntarily bottle then?
Voluntarily bottle, yeah. So
do you not drop the tokens in that? Because I don't think if you bottle in Mordheim, you drop all your warpstone or something.
Oh, really? No.
You lose the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still get your
He'd collect his stuff. Anyone who's got one and isn't down keeps the loot, so it's fine.
Fair enough.
Oh, nice.
I think we customised it a bit, so we did D6 times 3 per token and stuff like that. Yeah.
What about after battle sequence?
Post battle for Sam, he took a dead injury on his tentacled scabby, which he didn't like, so he got a medic and re-rolled it into a captured. And then I sold him back to him and took his pistol, which I didn't mind because I need a pistol for one of my gunslingers.
Cool.
So that's fine. The other injury was fine, fully recovered, and then Sam got a bit of money from the tokens. Didn't have to eat any of his own gang to survive, which was nice.
Always a bonus.
And rolled a buttload of items on the rare trade. I think screamers, stummers, boo, boring, snore, a couple of blind snake pouch, a couple of what's the thing that heals you that he couldn't use? Stingermold patch. That's it. And a monocyte, which he actually bought.
Okay.
So that's +1 to hit, I think.
Did he test to see whether his leader is able to control his masses of smelly guys?
We did not make that roll. I didn't know he had to, but not his leader, who is one of the people at the beginning of the game had an old battle wound, and he rolled a 1, as always happens. So
No, Scavvies have to, at the end of each game, their leader has to take a leadership test, and basically, based on how much they win, how much he passes or how much he loses that leadership test by, that's how many members' loyalties he can command for the game.
I see, so people might leave or something.
Yeah, so if he's got like leadership 7 and he passes by 1, so he rolls a 6, then he gets 13 members plus 3, I think it is.
Okay.
So his gang can be up to 16 members. If he fails it, so leadership 7, he rolls an 8, it's -1, so it would be 13 -1, so he can only have 12 in his gang.
Yeah.
So it might be different. I think it might be like 16 plus or minus or something like that. Essentially, I think the only way that Sam loses guys is if he rolls an 11 or a 12, and then he will lose 1 or 2 guys respectively.
No, that's not too bad for him.
But if he didn't,
I don't know if he made that roll. I didn't see him do it, but he was in a rush to catch his train anyway. So maybe we'll do it next time.
Yeah, we'll have to write that down and make sure.
Yeah, sure. On train suddenly have to shoot and scoot.
Sure. I didn't do my post battle yet because I was using a slightly older gang list because I forgot mine. Shut up. So I'm going to wait until I've got them with all the details of skills and stuff, so I don't roll contravening stuff. I had 2 people out at the end. One was my leader, which was a bit underwhelming, but he did shoot someone in the face with a plasma pistol. That was nice.
That's always good.
And the other one was the girl who got shot in the face with a spear gun and fell down 2 stories. And that was pretty much it.
Cool. Okay, so good game. Enjoyable?
Yeah, it was good fun. Lots of fun, lots of shooting, lots of craziness, helped by beers and large arachnids appearing in the middle of the board. And weirds with crazy flame powers, which I am enjoying.
Excellent. Well, I think if we get 4 or 5 potentially people over again, and we fancy doing a big Necromunda game, there's actually quite a good scenario in the back of one of the original books. It might be in the back of the Outlanders book, where it's a massive free-for-all filled with monsters and weird scenarios and everything, and you use a pack of cards. And the pack of cards go in piles that get shuffled and put around the board. And as you approach near these packs of cards, you flip them over, and based on what card it is, you look in the back of the book, and it will tell you an event or a creature or something will happen in that location. And random stuff happen. It can be things like zombies appear, or there's killer plants nearby, or
So anyone who wants lots of serious injuries at the end of the game should play this scenario.
Well, there are good things as well. It's not all negative,
cool.
but it's kind of fun and it's kind of random and silly. But it's a good
laugh.
It's a good fun game, and it's a good excuse to bust out things like giant rats and spiders, and gene stealers.
Oh god!
And the lictors, I believe, is one of the possibles. You can get a lictor.
Right, so
it's all
I need more guns.
Yeah,
more guns.
It's like first ed 40k, isn't it? When you've got
all of a sudden
power armor.
Yeah, I'll save up for a las cannon before we play that.
Yeah, I was about to say, all of a sudden the las cannons and the heavy plasma guns are looking quite good. But yeah, maybe we can crank that one out. But it might need a little bit longer to play because it's quite an in-depth mission, especially if you can play it with 4 people, I think.
Yeah,
but we can look into that
if everyone's happy, I could always bring the Among the Stars game over next week, and we can try and get a game into that.
Yeah,
see what people think.
Yeah,
sports up to 4, and I'm happy to sit out if there's 5 of us, and then let other people give like a review of it, and I'll just be I played it once, so I kind of know.
We got loads of other little board games and stuff. I've still got
Super Dungeon Explore.
We got Super Dungeon Explore. I've got we've got Dreadfleet downstairs. I've got
well, there's plenty for us to actually play, but this is a game that's ready to actually go straight into being used.
We've got Tentacle Bento
and Tentacle Bento, which we haven't played yet.
Yeah, and Tantal. Cool. But anyway, yeah. So cool. Okay. Well, we can talk about that later.
Indeed.
Wicked. Well then, okay, final segment then, which will be what's everyone got planned for the up and coming days / potential weeks.
I am going to think about spraying my Blood Bowl team.
Woo!
I'm going to
with paint. I hope.
Don't think too hard.
I'm going to consider doing the same thing to my Mordheim team. And
you have issues.
You slag.
And I'm going to finish off writing a couple of Wood Elf lists that I've nearly got refined quite nicely. Just need to do a few more calcs on them. And
are these your tournament?
Just got one.
I spotted a massive error in your lightning strike list. Yeah, it's got Wood Elves in it. That's not
the way to go. I just need to run a few more calculations on whether I can fight a few things, but I'm banking on it being able to fight. And then if it can, we'll run with it. Cool.
And what tournaments are you, or do you not want to say?
This is going to, I'll say this is going to be for Lightning Strike at the start of March.
Okay.
It's got quite a forgiving comp pack. What I like is that it's relatively light comp, but as well as taking the top armies down a notch, it also boosts the bottom armies up a notch.
Okay.
So Wood Elves get a relaxing on some of the general restrictions and an extra 200 points. So I get 2,600 instead of other people's 2,400.
That's nice.
That's cool.
Which is really helpful.
What do they do to demons and stuff like that?
Things like...
Do they expand them?
They cap at things like the number of bloodletters and corn heralds you can get. Like you duplicate. So things like you can't turn up with double siren song. You can't turn up with double lawmaster heralds. Just takes the edge off of their dumb stuff, and at the same time giving the bottom armies a bit more of an edge.
Removes a bit of the cheese.
Yeah, essentially, just balances the game out a bit more.
How many extra points do my weak Skaven get?
Skaven don't get any extra
What?
points. Skaven get hit with a comp back because they're filth.
Holy! What is this dirty cheating?
What do they drop on the Skaven, or do they just limit some of the models?
Things like you won't be allowed double A-bomb. You'll be allowed.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a maximum of 3 rare choices, but you can't duplicate any of them.
Right.
That's not too bad for you because you're quite fluffy with all this anyway.
The other
only
one
take
that
one
gets
rare.
banned,
Yeah.
which I hate when it's allowed, is allowing the Grey Seer to take a power scroll. Because it's
yeah.
daft.
It's not. It's fine.
He's not
13th on the 13. It's actually fluffy.
only because you use a fully mounted army. No one should ever be allowed
It's
to
fine.
cast 13th on 3
13th.
dice.
I don't see what the issue is. Be on a horse or man of war machine. You're fine.
It's one off, I guess, though, isn't it?
It is, but when you've got the other Grey Seer backing him up as well,
It's double Grey
and you
Seer
roll up
is so
a decent
2011.
magic. It's
It's all about the bell. All about the
bell
bell
is-
with
the
2
bell's
assassins
good.
in it.
Surely it's about 2 units of 9 rat ogres, right? Like
That's
in my
actually.
army.
I've been talking to the TO a lot. I've given him some input along with a few other people on the comp pack, and that's actually one of the things that does walk in under the comp is the current Skaven. Lots of storm vermin with 2 assassins and a bell, which just walks into anything and kills it. Kills a lot of things.
That's the kind of list where you set your army out and then you walk in
Yeah.
and then you have Metallicas for whom the bell tolls to start playing in the background, a bit like you're coming into
You'd
a
be alright
wrestling ring or something.
You'd be alright against with your brats.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get that.
You just got to hope he doesn't.
There'd just be every other slave thing,
Oh, that's
whatever. Hit by
You've-
one lightning
you've also
cannon
got to
plague.
hope
Oh,
he
yeah, if
doesn't.
I get that, I'll take it off.
I was saying that the other part is that you've got to hope he doesn't get the well-timed plague off and remove half
My
of your
army. I
army.
mean, half. It'll just remove the army.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, writing lists for that, maybe a couple of other tournaments, but that's what I'm focusing on at the moment.
Cool. Other Tom?
Bracing myself for the new Dark Angels, which come out next week, which I'm quite excited about. I'm getting the book on Thursday.
Do you have a Dark Angel army
Yes.
already?
Yeah, I've got,
Okay.
I've got a Deathwing army already. So I'm seeing whether my shiny boys in bone armour are as good as they are, or what happens to them. There is a Warhammer 40k little tournament now in Wandsworth next weekend, which I'm playing in as a last hurrah for said Dark Angel army. This will be the last chance I get to use it. So I need to remember how 40k works, because I basically I played a bit in 5th, and then this new edition came out, and I'm not so sure. So we'll see. Doing that, I'll probably faff about a bit with some other bits of editing and tidying, and I'm not going to promise to paint anything because I painted 1 model in the entire of last year, and so I don't see the outlook for the next year is about the same.
More than me.
And surely this is the time to be promising, January
Yeah,
resolutions.
you've
all
got a
that.
whole year.
No, that's just about it really. I mean, next week, want to know where we're not going to be, unfortunately, playing for the rest of this month, you think?
Well, we were talking about this, potentially just moving it to a weekend days as opposed to a weekdays. So rather than doing our usual week evening games, perhaps we can do every other weekend or something like that, just for the course of January. But we'll see. We'll talk about that later. And
Oh, I forgot actually. Tomorrow I'm going to play a Game of Thrones board game with some people.
Ooh,
Tomorrow
okay.
afternoon, which is epic. I love that game. It's
I haven't played the board game, but I hear good things.
Do you not have it? Because I've got a copy of the 2nd edition, which I can bring. It's epic good.
Yes.
Good. We'll add that to the growing list of board games that need to be
of
played.
stuff that we need to play, but never do because
how long is it?
How
How long to play?
Explain the rules, half an hour. playing through the full normal game, probably about 3.5 hours, playing the expansion, which is much more mental, and is only 6 turns rather than 10, about 2 hours, and it's much more fun because basically you already have armies deployed, and the combat cards are way more powerful, so you just go and smash a bit more. So you basically you skip the whole planning and setting up phase and just go straight to punch people in the face phase.
So 2.5 to 3 hours for a game is fun.
I completely zoned out. Was that the Game of Thrones board game? Yeah, about half an hour I think to explain it might be optimistic.
It is. No, I've explained it 9 times to people who aren't gamers, to like friends of my girlfriend, and we've played it, and they've got it and played it. So
it's actually very, very simple. There's just a lot of information.
There's a lot of mechanics, and then you mind dump information on people, and they look very, very scared. Then you play,
and then
they play 1 turn and they get it. Play 2 turns and fully understand it. And then by turn 3, they've realised all the mistakes they made in turn 1 and 2, and the reason why they are now screwed for the rest of the game.
I do love seeing that look on people's faces.
That is like almost all board games I ever play ever. Always.
The turn 3. Oh god.
It also helps a lot if you're one explaining it, because the other people haven't identified who the starting powerhouses are, so they don't know the necessary steps you need to take to stop them in line.
This is why I like explaining games to people.
Yeah,
and this is why people come up with the phrase
"Oh, I know, Dave
rules." Yeah,
something I actually saw specifically for this, which I thought would be quite a good idea, is whoever's explaining it prepares a crib sheet, just does it fairly, because you randomise which house you prepare to start. Just does a crib sheet on things like, give to each player. Say you're playing as Starkham and North, you need to be sure to keep control of this seat, or Greyjoy will come and take over you. And just give you a little crib sheet saying if you're careful about...
You just whoever's most experienced just sucks it up, takes Lannister, never wins the game, and keeps Greyjoy in command, and then it doesn't matter.
Well, this is the point. You
just don't put a noob in charge of Lannister, because they will have a horrifically bad time as they get ruffle stomped. But other than that, the game's not balanced, because it's not supposed to be balanced, but it's close enough where everyone else can have a fair crack at winning. But having played it 20 times last year, including 9 times with Lannister, and not coming anywhere close to winning. I genuinely think it's one of those unfortunate, so you need to play because you can't have it a non-playing faction, but there's no way they can win, so it's a pretty rubbish.
I have never played that game and not won it. I've only played it 3 or 4 times.
For that challenge
in your face,
challenge accepted.
We know who's going to be that faction then.
I have been playing as Baratheon a lot, though.
Yeah, you're playing as Baratheon, so you have the impossible to take home territory unless you're an absolute idiot. You have access to all the cities immediately, and everyone else is too busy killing you, and you're surprised you're winning.
Nope, because I'm just that good.
I think next game you're Lannister.
I'm Baratheon. We are the Fury.
Nice. Awesome. Well, have fun with that, and bring it over, and we'll definitely play that one.
Give it a crack.
I'm
it's
up
a
for
good drinking game as well.
Well, Sam will be in then.
I swear he just comes over to drink.
This is like,
it just happens to
drink
be that
Drink Ramunda.
We should do that every time somebody gets wounded. Take a shot.
Objectives which are shots. If you take them, you have to take them.
Played a few games, a few drinking games on New Year's Eve. One of them being mainly just with regards to what films we were watching. We did one with my friend, came up with, which is we're watching Deep Blue Sea, and you have to drink every time something unbelievable happens.
So you're all pretty smashed then.
It got messy rather quickly. Fortunately, the DVD died halfway through, which was
before you
about
did.
The saving grace.
DVD probably couldn't take.
But not before Shark managed to crash the helicopter and the entire base, which is half underwater, exploded and caught fire.
Oh God. Film's terrible.
The G.I. Joe and Revenge of Cobra. Drink every time there is an action film cliche. That got messy.
Wow.
That was epic. You really start to enjoy it because you're really looking for the cliches. So you start to roll with it rather than
we
just
also
going.
did Lord of the Rings with such things as every time there's a close-up of a ring or the entire fellowship is on screen, fine. But ones which really got us were every time there's awkward sexual tension between Frodo and Sam. Any time Legolas looks off into the distance, you have to drink. It got messy quickly.
Yeah, every time Gimli refers to his axe.
Yeah, my axe.
I think you sounded kind of like Sean Connery then.
That's because Gimli is Sean Connery. Miss Money.
Excellent. So, I think we should definitely come up with some drinking games and report back. Drunken podcast is always fun.
We can do. I'm not drinking until the end of February, but you guys crack on.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not
is that
drinking.
a New Year's?
No, I'm just not drinking until after I do my Royal Marines Potential Officers course, which is second.
Eat something.
It's like the second or third. I'm at 12 stone. I'm catching up nicely. I'm up to that's like the second week of February or something. So I'm just not going to do anything daft to myself until then.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Fair enough. Go on then, Dave. What you got planned?
Well, funnily enough, I just started looking at some of the Space Marine models I had because I have some from the Black Reach box we bought ages ago.
Yeah.
And then I got a few in the Dark Vengeance box.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam said out of the blue, "Oh, I'm selling some of this stuff, including the Dark Angels Codex and some Assault Winners." So I thought, oh, okay, I'll probably get like 1,500 points out of this because Dark Angels have always been the Space Marines army that interested me because they're different in their own little way, rather than looking the same as everyone else. They got robes on, that's all that does it for me.
They're green.
First Legion, baby.
And my friend, a long time ago, when he gave me a big bunch of all the Necromunda terrain and models that we've got, also gave me a small box of painted up Dark Angels, which I found in my loft the other week. And I was like, oh, I forgot I had these. So I got interested in Dark Angels. And now I found out that next week there's a new Dark Angels thing coming out. So that's got me a little bit excited. More
Some
models
of
I can
them
buy,
are
not
very
paint.
nice. Some of them less so, but they vary. I like some of them I don't.
Yeah, so excited about Dark Angels, and that's cool. Other things, I can't remember. Stuff,
Nice.
nothing particular
You
that
bought-
I can think of.
Bought some paints today.
I bought some paints, yeah. I'm threatening to start painting something.
I believe it when I see it.
Glowering at these models, like, if
Yeah.
you don't behave, if you don't paint yourself, I'm just going to have to come in there and paint you myself.
I'm going to do it. You watch me.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's just Dark Angels got me a bit excited, and then bought some paints because I'm threatening to paint stuff to make you happy. Mordheim, try and get that sorted out now. I've got some ideas about models for my zombies, trying to keep the whole gang fully undead rather than being part human vampire / necromantic guy. So skeletons instead of zombies or ghouls, and the dregs. I'm not going to use human models. I'll use more skeletons or something.
Cool.
So yeah, looking to models to do that, and that's about it.
Nice. Well, I'm just going to build some more time scenery and hopefully paint some meshes. Pretty boring stuff.
It's alright.
There you go. Awesome. Well, that just about wraps us up for today. Remember, you can, if you want to contact us for any reason, leave comments. You know, we're always happy to hear feedback. Attic Gaming Club on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and also atticgamingclub@gmail.com should you want to send us an email for some reason. Well, thanks for joining us, and goodbye from everyone here, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.